Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of Pittsburgh City Council for Tuesday, October 26, 2021. Council will be meeting in a hybrid format until further notice. We encourage speakers to continue joining virtually as there will be a limited number of seats available here in council chambers. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross. Here. Mr. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor. Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Cal Smith. Reverend Burgess Chair.
Here.
7 members present.
Thank you very much. If you would join me and stand and face our flag as we recite together the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless our city and its residents. Amen. You may be seated. Our next order of business is proclamation. We're going to start with Councilwoman Strasburger. If you are prepared, you have one to be presented for lead safe water.
This is a will of council.
That's a will of council. I'm sorry, it says present. Okay, so that means that what we do have is a proclamation. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at my cheat sheet well. We do have a proclamation from Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel, but I need the proclamation. If you can get me the proclamation, I am willing to read it. All right. Pardon me? I can read it if you give it to me to read, or we can go into the will of council, whichever one you prefer, Madam Clerk. You can print it out or. During these interludes, if we were in a religious setting, we would break out a hymn. That is what that's what we usually do.
Don't we have an organ player?
In the interlude. I look to the musician in the choir, and we usually, what a fellowship, what a joy divine. All right, if those who are here for the Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel, if you would come forward, please. Come here to my left. All right. So I'm going to read your proclamation, your physical proclamation. Her staff is not here to give it to you, but they will. We do have them, and we will give them to you, I promise. So I will read the proclamation, and then after that, you can post it if you want. You can post, and then after that, we'll give you a chance to talk, okay? And thank you for your patience and welcome to council. Whereas October 19th is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an opportunity to spread awareness about the disease that kills nearly 41,000 women each year, and to show respect for people affected by breast cancer. And whereas Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel is a unique support group made up of breast cancer survivors who organized a breast cancer survival dragon boat paddling team. The team not only races to improve their physical health, but they provide a place where survivors of all ages can improve their overall sense of well-being. And whereas the team officially launched on the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh in May 2017 with 21 survivors and several local supporters in the community, and with help from the Three Rivers Rowing Association, created their team, which is stationed in Millville, Pennsylvania. And whereas there are currently over 150 breast cancer survivor dragon boat teams internationally. Since 2017, Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel has won numerous medals throughout the country, with one of the major highlights being getting the opportunity to compete at the 2018 International Breast Cancer Paddling Commission Festival in Florence, Italy. And whereas, even though the physical benefits of dragon boat paddling are an important part of the organization, their camaraderie and care they have for each other means so much more to them. And whereas Pittsburgh's Hearts of Steel is a nonprofit organization, and 100% of all donations are used solely for their activities, education, and needs of breast cancer survivors. They are always willing to share their own personal experiences and knowledge about breast cancer to communities in Pittsburgh and surrounding areas who need support. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel for helping others who are dealing with breast cancer by offering support, friendship, and hope. And be it further resolved, the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, October 26, 2021, to be Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel Day in the City of Pittsburgh. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. It's approved. Thank you very much.
We'd like to first thank you for having us here. I wasn't prepared to talk, but is there any questions about our team? Thing you want to know? We support the community in both financially. We have two fundraisers every year. We do a golf outing at a Dragon Boat Festival at North Park and give back 10% of our funds to local breast cancer organizations like Glimmer of Hope or Cancer Bridges, Westmoreland Walks. It's different every year. Somebody else wants to? Darlene, come on.
Come on, Darlene.
Darlene and I are founders
Oh,
of the
come on.
team. Oh, I'm Janice Bagnata, one of the co-founders of Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel. Yep.
I'm Darlene Goldfinch. I'm also with the co-founder of Hearts of Steel.
Nice.
I really don't know what to say either, except thank you. And you probably should come and get on our boat next year and see what it's really about, because it really is an all-body workout. And when you get in that boat and you start paddling, you don't think about your day at work. You don't think about what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Did I get the kids off to school okay? Or are they still left at home? That kind of stuff. You just get in the boat and you just concentrate on what you're doing, and that's it. And it's so relaxing, even though you're like, oh, the first 10 minutes, I'm so tired. And then after that, you're like, you don't feel tired anymore. And you're just like going for an hour and a half paddling and doing all kinds of different things. And it's just so invigorating. And the camaraderie is what really makes me feel good. I've been paddling since 2008, and being all breast cancer survivors, we help each other. We're there for each other, and we, support each other. If they're having a bad day, we give hugs. Before it was just elbows, but now we're back to hugs. But it's a wonderful, wonderful sport. And if you don't know what it's all about, you should Google it and get in our boat.
Yeah.
I'll invite you. You're all welcome.
Could you hold up the paddle? Is that the paddle? What's on the paddle?
Cameras are at the back of the room.
Beat him with it.
Oh, Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel. Oh, great.
My wrist, but not paddling, but you hold it out like this and then you jam it in. And there's 20 paddles in the boat.
Wow.
But with everybody in it, it weighs about anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000 pounds. Object is to get that boat moving, get it on top of the water, and cross the finish line first. No, I felt my bike.
He was kind of flat.
Good job, ladies.
Okay, that brings us to a will of council. Councilwoman Strasburg.
You can read maybe the first and the last. First two and the last, yeah.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents, whereas October 24th through the 30th, 2021 marks National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. And whereas lead, the metal, is a neurotoxin that enters the body through contact with lead containing paint, dust, soil, and drinking water.
Good.
Be it further resolved that a copy of this will of council shall be sent to the members of the Pittsburgh School Board, the Pittsburgh Public School Superintendent, the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh, the Wilkinsburg Penn Joint Water Authority, the Westview Water Authority, Pennsylvania American Water, and the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority.
Let me take the motion first, or you want to talk first? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to
moved.
approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposers, nay. Councilwoman Strasburger.
Thank you. Well, I will note that this is a team effort with me, Councilman O'Connor, Councilwoman Gross, and Councilman Wilson, as a companion to the Pittsburgh lead safety bill that's being introduced today. And just to say briefly that this is most of the water safe, lead safe water portion of the bill that was moved to a will of council at the recommendation of our law department, but really does urge our partners that have to do with water. So our water utilities that exist in the city of Pittsburgh, to really follow the path that PWSA has taken, and also to ensure that, as we are going to be doing if we pass our lead ordinance, that the Pittsburgh Public Schools also follow suit and change out or install filters on all of their water fountains and all of their sinks to ensure that the water that children in the city at our schools are drinking is safe and free of lead. So that's the purpose of this will of council, and I'm happy to have other council co-sponsors say a few words as well about this will of council if they'd like to.
Thank you very much. Any other conversation?
I'll jump in and
Councilwoman
say,
Gross.
yes, thank you for all of the work. We just had a press conference about the lead safe ordinance, and I want to thank the many partners, Get the Lead Out and Lead Safe Allegheny, and their key organizations who were partners and helped doing the research for the last several years on what other cities are doing and best practices. But we're also proud of the work that we've done here in the city of Pittsburgh with the administration, with the PWSA administration. And it looks now that other legacy cities are turning to look at their own water systems, that we're actually in a leader nationally in the number of lines that we've replaced. We've replaced over half our lead lines. And if your water service is not PWSA, know that there is a lead line still connecting you to your water provider. And we all need to raise our awareness, and we need to remove those lead pipes wherever they are across the city. Thank you.
Any other conversation? If no conversation, we will now move to public comment. I'd like to remind everyone, the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before city council. Profanity will not be permitted. Please state your name and neighborhood for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Lynn Miller.
Dr. Ronald Lynn Miller, downtown, Global Intelligence Society candidate for mayor 2021. Concern of Pittsburgh City Council is intersexual abuse, evidenced in a proclamation for Pittsburgh group dealing with abuse, 19 October 2021. No definition of abuse was given, so here's one. Intersexual abuse is the unwanted intrusion of one individual into the identity, soma, or psyche of another individual. No description of abuse as a double vector, male to female, female to male problem, though males abuse females more than females abuse males. This city council tends to more definitively favor the former over the latter. On Wednesday, 20 October 2021, I described 2 episodes in which a female citizen and a female counselor, Ms. Gross, subjected a male citizen to abuse via council public comment. Not one counselor to this date has apologized to me for these abuses. That's more abuse. You, in this sense, on these are abusers. So you mix male to female sexism, but neuter female to male sexism. In contemporary US American culture, male identification of female abuse of themselves, males, is routinely identified as male abuse of those females. Males are just supposed to take it and be quiet. No. What follows is a transcript of a video audio recording of an incident on Pat Bus 5929, 51 Carrick, 22 October 2021 at 10:24 a.m., the basis of an RLM and PAT investigation 75165. I did some business with copies at Carson, 8:15 to 8:25 a.m. It's a good place to go. I ran to catch a 51 downtown at 5:24, mask in pocket. The Black African-American female bus driver, she shouting, pushing her right arm in my face, said, "No, you cannot get on this bus without a mask." I got on the bus. I said, "I have one." I put it on. I said, "Happy now?" She said, "It's not about my being happy." I sat down. I got up to get off at Station Square, and I said, "Never shove your arm at a citizen that way again, but ask if he or she has a mask. I don't care what you think." She opened the door. "I am going to report this." "I don't care. What is your badge number?" Ripping open her jacket top, she gave me her number, and then she closed the door, blocking my way out. "Open the door," I said. "This is abuse."
Thank you very much, Dr. Miller. Our next speaker is Naomi Mullen. Naomi, are you with us today?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. The Pennsylvania State Constitution says all power is inherent in the people, and all governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. Where did elected officials get the idea that they are lording over us? How can they make decisions for our community that we have lived in and been property owners in for decades? How can Gregory Coyle sit smugly at a town hall meeting in opposition to we, the property owners of Bon Air? His response about the parking issue at the building is that the mayor is not going to require it. Is Mayor Peduto his best buddy? No wonder the mayor is on his way out. Our community is not his to make and mold to his will. We, the people of Bon Air, do not consent to this threat to our peace, safety, and happiness. Official oppression has consequences. Significant community concern has been expressed to the Board of Education and City Council all these months since the announcement of the sales agreement for Bon Air School. Perhaps there is a neighborhood busting plan afoot. Block busting is illegal. Is there any lobbying or unregistered lobbying taking place? Are any special friends of Bill Peduto involved in this non-compliant sale? My sincere, consistent request is that City Council create a resolution to block zoning change and support a green space to replace Bon Air's school building. Do your part for the environment, reduce urban heat, reduce watershed to Route 51, increase green space to benefit all ages and stages, protect the children at the playground across the street. Let's make it wheelchair accessible to allow those who have difficult access to nature the ability to enjoy it. Tear down detrimental problem buildings, not safe, stable neighborhoods. You want to reduce watershed to Route 51, and this is your opportunity to help that need. Shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other speaker who wants to speak before council, either online or in person? Are there any other speakers? Seeing none, our next order of business will be the presentation of papers. Starting off with myself, Councilman Burgess, Chair of Urban Recreation, Mr. Coghill for myself. Thank you very much. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Works.
Oh,
how nice.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 2071, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement between the city and Brighton Heights Citizens Federation, a nonprofit organization, in order that the Brighton Heights Citizens Federation will utilize a part of the first floor of the City of Pittsburgh building located at 3515 McClure Avenue for temporary storage. The term of the lease shall not exceed 12 months. The agreement shall be in a form approved by the city solicitor. Bill number 2072, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to receive a grant from Keep America Beautiful to implement a cigarette litter prevention program and cigarette litter stand placement in the amount of $15,000. Bill number 2073, resolution authorizing an agreement with the Efficiency Network for services related to the city streetlight LED conversion at a cost not to exceed $16 million.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Gross. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs.
Mr. President.
I thought I heard something. Mr. Wilson, is there something?
Yeah, before we move on, can I request a Rule 8 on 2071?
2071, Councilman?
Yeah, I could explain. This is the Brighton Heights Civic League. They are leaving their office on the main street, and they need an opportunity. We're going to provide them with an opportunity to actually store some equipment in our senior center in Brighton Heights. This is that agreement.
So is there a second motion to waive rules of council so it appears in tomorrow's standing committee meeting? It's been properly moved in second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed, nay. Thank you very much. That takes us to the report from Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs. Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 2074, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned property in the 18th ward of the city designated in the deed registry office of Allegheny County, located at the southwest corner of Ceres Way and Pedro Way, Council District Number 3. Bill number 2075, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Amani Christian Community Development Corporation, or a related entity, for the sale of block 10P lots 25, 26, and 27 in the 5th Ward, Council District Number 6. Bill number 2076, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the following publicly owned properties in the 5th Ward of the city designated in the deed registry office of Allegheny County as blocks 10K, located on the west side of Elmore Street between Wiley and Webster Avenues, and on the east side of Worcester Street between Wiley and Webster Avenues, Council District Number 6. Bill number 2077, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and 5th Dinwiddie Development LLC, or related entity, being formally designated as Block 11E, lots 81, 82, and 85 in the 3rd Ward of the City, Council District Number 6. Bill number 2078, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Allegheny Land Trust for the sale of Block 75L in the 27th Ward of the City, Council District Number 1. Bill number 2079, resolution approving execution of a deed by and between the URA and the city for the sale of Block 88H in the 14th Ward of the City, Frick Park Expansion, Council District Number 5. Bill number 2080, Resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Garfield Highlands LP or related entity for the sale of Block 50H in the 10th and 11th Ward of the City Council District Number 9. Bill number 2081, resolution approving execution of a deed by and between the URA for the sale of Block 31G in the 31st Ward and the 16th Ward, Hayes Woods Council District Number 5. Bill number 2082, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest in and to the vacated right-of-way adjoining the publicly owned properties in the 21st Ward of the city, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 22F, located at 1241 Kunkel Avenue, 1237 Kunkel Avenue, California Avenue between Kunkel Avenue and Dalway, 1229 Kunkel Avenue, 1227 Kunkel Avenue, Dalway between Kunkel Avenue and California Avenue, 1937 Setwith Street, 1935 Setwith Street, and Setwith Street at California Avenue respectively. Council District Number 6. Bill number 2083, resolution authorizing the URA to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest in and to the following publicly owned properties in the 25th and the 26th Ward of the city, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 22D. North side of Bright Ridge Street between Brighton Road and North Charles Street, 511 Chester Avenue, and south side of Chester Avenue, west of Holyoke Street, Council District Number 6. Bill number 2084, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Hometown Real Estates LLC for the sale of Block 1H, lots 234 and 35 in the 2nd Ward of the City Council District Number 6. Bill number 2085, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Sankofa Group, Inc. or related entity for the sale of Block 10P in the 5th Ward Council District Number 6. Bill number 2086, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the URA and Steel City Squash or related entity for the sale of Block 124K in the 12th Ward, Council District Number 9. Bill number 2087, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Finance to execute a quit claim deed and any other necessary or appropriate documents, agreements, and instruments conveying as is all of the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in Block 48N, Lot 10, in the 24th Ward of the city to the URA for consideration of $1 each, contingent upon the mayor and director of the Department of Finance first entering into a corporation agreement with the URA, setting forth the rights and obligation of the city and the URA relating to these initial conveyances, and further setting forth the rights and obligation of the city and the URA relating to the subsequent disposition of this property to third parties. Council District 1.
Madam Gross, Councilman Gross, do you have a motion to waive Rule 8 on Bill 2081?
Oh, I do see that. Thank you for calling it out. Yes, motion to waive Rule 8 for Bill 2081 so that it may appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Ayes have it, so it's ordered to appear on tomorrow's standing committee meeting. Councilman Kraus, Chair of Human Resources. Thank you.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 2088, resolution providing that the city enter into a professional services agreement and or contract with PSI Services, Talent, Measurement, and Education for professional consulting services in connection with police officer recruit candidate examination and selection services, and providing for the payment of costs not to exceed $180,000. Bill number 2089, resolution providing that the city enter into a professional services agreement and or contract when consultants and or service providers for professional services in connection with civil service and MPOETC required assessment and evaluation of public safety candidates and providing for a payment not to exceed $190,000.
Thank you very much. Councilman Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law.
President.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 2090, resolution amending Resolution 651 of 2020 to include rental permit registration fees in the 2021 fee book pursuant to Chapter Code 170. Bill number 2091, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in the total sum of $495,000, which shall be allocated and paid as follows: $200,000 made payable to Brandon Furman and $295,000 made payable to Tucker Arsenberg in final settlement related to litigation at USDC.
Mr. Lavelle, you have a motion to waive Rule 8 on Bill 2090.
Yes. So move.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. That bill will appear on tomorrow's standing committee meeting. That takes us to Councilman O'Connor, Chair of Public Safety Services and father of new child. We will ask Mr. Lavelle to present on behalf of Mr. O'Connor.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. That takes us to Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents Bill number 2092, resolution creating the One Stop PGH Permitting Technology Trust Fund, in which a technology fee collected from applicable One Stop PGA permits shall be deposited. The monies deposited in said trust fund shall be used by participating departments to cover expenses associated with the One Stop PGH permitting platform for ongoing maintenance and enhancement to improve customer and user experience. Bill number 2101, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances in multiple locations with provisions related to lead safety and mitigation in order to reduce and thereby mitigate the health risk of exposure of city residents and particularly young children to lead hazards.
Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Actually, Mr. President, Madam Clerk, I don't see, I believe Councilman O'Connor needs to be added to co-sponsorship for Bill 2101, for the lead ordinance.
So noted.
Oh, I see it.
He's there.
I looked at it 3 times
Yeah,
and
he's
I
there.
didn't see
Yeah,
it. Now I do. Thank you.
Councilmember Strasburger, O'Connor, Councilwoman Gross, and Councilmember Wilson. Yep.
My mistake.
Not a problem. Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 2093, resolution amending Resolution number 377 entitled Resolution Authorizing the Mayor and Director of the Department of Permits, Licenses, and Inspections for the city to apply for grant funding from the Allegheny County Department of Community and Economic Development's Act 152 Blight Removal Program to add language to allow the city to decrease the amount of the grant, allow the city to accept the grant award, and allow the city to spend the funds. Bill number 2094, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title 9 Zoning Code Article 5, Chapter 912, accessory uses and structures, accessory use and structure development and operational standards, parking, loading, and access, alternative access plans, measurements, setbacks to update the standards for fences and walls, parking paths, and garages for residential uses with fewer than 5 spaces and other accessory uses and structures. Bill number 2095, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title 9 Zoning Code Article 5 Use Regulations, primary uses, use table and section, use standards, Chapter 912, accessory uses and structures, Section 91204, accessory use and structure development and operational standards, use exceptions and conditions not listed in the use table, Section 91304, special exceptions in Article 6, development standards, parking, loading, and access, off-street parking schedules, to update the standards and definitions for restaurants and restaurants' fast food uses, and to update the standards for other drive-through uses within the city. Bill number 2096, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title 9 zoning Article 9 Development Review Procedures, Chapter 922, measurements by amending language in Section 92202.
Thank you very much. The chair has no new papers. That takes us now to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, the next order of business is report of committee for final action, starting with Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle, the Committee on Finance and Law.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 2065, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for October 20th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1980, ordinance amending and supplementing the city code at Title II Fiscal Article 5, Special Funds, Chapter 237, Stop the Violence Fund, to clarify uses and restrictions of the fund. Bill number 1999, resolution authorizing the Director of the Department of Finance to enter into a license agreement with Module Design, Inc. and ECS Mid-Atlantic LLC to allow the performance of pre-development geotechnical survey work on designated city property in order to facilitate the construction of a 10-unit mixed-income housing development project. Bill number 2000, resolution authorizing the mayor and Director of Finance to enter into a donation and professional services agreement with the Pittsburgh Land Bank and GRB Law to document the donation of legal services relating to the performance of designated quiet title actions on behalf of the city, and further pursuant to Chapter 210 of the City Code, accepting the donation by Pittsburgh Land Bank of such legal services to be performed by GRB Law on behalf of the city. Bill number 2016, an ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances at Title I Administrative Article 11, Human Resources, Chapter 198, Campaign Finance Regulations, so as to permit the use of fund held by a candidate committee for child care expenses. Bill number 2058, resolution authorizing an agreement with Mar Duzel for services related to the administration of the city's emergency rental assistance program, funding at a cost not to exceed $100,000.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor. Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you very much. The bills having received the legally required number of votes are finally passed. That brings us to Councilman Corey O'Connor, Committee on Public Safety Services. Mr. Lavelle for Mr. O'Connor. Thank you very much.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 2066, report of the Committee on Public Safety Services for October 20th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2001, resolution authorizing resolution number 512, previously amended resolution number 246, and number 493, and number 133, authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the city into a fourth amended professional services agreement with Johnson Controls for continued security camera integration and support services at an additional cost of $498,555, and extending such agreement for 1 year and increasing the overall agreement compensation to $6,188,557. Bill number 2015, resolution directing the Bureau of Police to take immediate steps to improve its data collection and the publication thereof in such a manner that meets a specific deaggregation criteria, making any necessary and appropriate changes to its internal operating procedures to comply with the contents of this resolution.
Thank you very much. You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Strasburger.
After a long, epically long standing committee meeting last week, I didn't say anything about Bill 2015, but I did want to thank council colleagues for their support. I think this is, one further step that we're taking on public safety reform. Knowing what happens with police interactions will allow us to dig in and find out when and where racial profiling takes place and who the actors are who are doing that and the steps that we need to take as council members to eradicate that. So I appreciate colleague support and I appreciate the leadership of Councilman O'Connor on this.
Anyone else?
Yes, thank you. May I?
Councilman Gross.
Yes, I also want to give a special shout out to Councilman O'Connor and Councilwoman Strasburger and to thank them especially for it being intersectional and including gender. I'm going to be sending this over to the Gender Equity Commission, who has had a recommendation that we disaggregate the city data, protecting privacy at all times, but disaggregate data so we could also look at the intersectional disparate impacts to be sure that we're being equitable. So I really appreciate the hard work.
Anyone else? If not, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you very much. The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, are finally passed. And that takes us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, Committee on Public Works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 2067, report of the Committee on Public Works for October 20th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2045, resolution authorizing the mayor and directors of the Department of Public Works and the Department of Public Safety on behalf of the city to enter into a lease agreement with Steam Fitters Local Union 449 to allow the city to lease certain real property for use at the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police facilities for a term of 64 months at a cost not to exceed $3,149,054.64, excluding utilities.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill?
Yes, Reverend, I just want to thank Councilman Coghill for his work on this and Dan Gilman and the mayor's office for their work and the facilities people, Madam Clerk and Director Hornstein. They all did a lot of work on this. I want to thank them all.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your work on this matter. The bill is now ready. You've heard the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, are finally passed. That brings us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, Committee on Land Use and Economic Development.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 2068, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for October 20th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2005, resolution providing for an agreement with Bromberg and Associates for the purposes of providing effective communication services to people with disabilities for the payment not to exceed $27,000. Bill number 2006, resolution amending resolution number 216, authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of City Planning to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for the master planning process of Fowler Park to add language to allow the city to accept the grant award and spend the funds. Bill number 2007, resolution further amending resolution number 840 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2020 Capital Budget, the 2020 CDBG Program, and the 2020 through 2025 Capital Improvement Program, so as to identify specific projects in the City Council District 6 and authorize a subsequent agreement for operation, administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities on behalf of the residents of the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Mr. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith,
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Strasburger, Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents Bill number 2069, report of the Committee on Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management for October 20th with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2002, resolution amending resolution number 548, which amended resolution number 801, authorizing the mayor and the director of Innovation and Performance to enter into an agreement with AMCOM for the lease of the multifunction devices and the managed print services for a sum not to exceed $375,000 per year for 5 years by increasing the not to exceed amount to $2,585,000. Bill number 2003, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of Innovation and Performance to enter into a 1-year agreement with Vision Point Systems to obtain Twilio Flex support services to meet the needs of the city at a sum not to exceed $30,000. Bill number 2004, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Innovation and Performance to enter into an agreement with Google for their assured workload program to securely store sensitive data in Google Cloud Platform according to federal data standards to be in compliance with the U.S. Department of Criminal Justice Information Systems.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing now none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill,
Aye.
Ms. Gross,
Aye.
Mr. Kraus,
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle,
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger,
Aye.
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith,
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is finally passed. That brings us finally to Councilwoman Deborah Gross, Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs.
President.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 2070, report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for October 20th, 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1519, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for proposed land development located at 4554 through 4564 Penn Avenue. Bill number 1994, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for proposed land development located at 2400 East Carson Street, the 24th Street parcel number 12L264. Bill number 1995, resolution adopting the plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for 665 Ridge Avenue, a Light of Life Ministries project, which will involve the development of a lot with proposed renovations and vertical additions to their existing building. The site address is 665 Ridge Avenue in the 22nd Ward.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Kell Smith.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
The bill having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from council? Mr. Wilson?
I'd just like to make a comment.
Mr. Wilson?
Last week at standing committee, I made remarks in terms of Bill 1980, which is the clarification of uses of the funds to stop the violence. And at the time, I used some language to talk about how I was skeptical of the decision. And I said I would have further conversation. That's been done. And I've already voted for it. I feel comfortable for it, in support of it. And furthermore, I'm looking forward to, following up on those conversations in terms of getting involved with the steering committee of those funds, so that we can further explore the uses. This bill only gets to the percentage points of what the funds should be used for. And so I'm looking forward to that conversation of how we move forward in terms of funding outside organizations. So looking forward to that larger conversation. Thanks.
And Councilman Wilson, we look forward to your participation and partnership in this very worthwhile endeavor. Anything else from members?
Yes, Reverend.
Councilwoman President Smith.
Thank you. I'm actually out in my car for the meeting. Sorry. But I just wanted to make sure we were asked to waive the rules of council for a bill. I think it's under Councilman O'Connor's committee or in his district. Madam Clerk, did we make that motion?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. I'll be in a second. Thank you, everyone.
Anything else? Anything else from members before I go to the announcements? If not, we have meeting announcements. Immediately following this meeting, council shall remain in chambers for a moment as soon as the president arrives, that we may take a group photo. Today we'll be taking a group photo, which we haven't taken one, I believe, in 3 years. And so this will be the first one we've taken in 3 years. Right after the group photo, we are celebrating the arrival of Councilman O'Connor's new baby, whose name is? Molly, right? Monty O'Connor, as well as the opening of the council and clerk bake room, which is a vision of all of council in the clerk's office. We're grateful for her hard work. It's spectacular. It is spectacular. Our staff and the clerk staff did not deserve to have to eat at their desk every day. They deserve the dignity to be able to go to a clean, decent place on their breaks and on their lunch where they can recuperate from our stressful activities. And so we're grateful for that. And there will be refreshments for members and staff in the break room. I think all of us on council, we have all joined in congratulations to Mr. Connor and his wife and the birth of their baby. I am an old father, and I have found that having a child is both a blessing and a privilege. It is both a blessing and a privilege, and that it is an attempt. It gives you the opportunity. If nothing else, when you have a child, it gives you the opportunity to be a fully mature and responsible adult, knowing that you are responsible for your own actions and you're responsible for those who are in your employee and those who you lead. And we are grateful for our children, and we're grateful for one more child in this group we call council. This afternoon at 1:30, council will hold an executive session on bills 2021, 1996, 1997, and 1998 as they relate to professional service agreements and warrants. Also, this afternoon at 4 p.m., the Council Reapportionment Advisory Committee will hold a meeting at council's large council room. Tomorrow, Wednesday, October 27th at 10 a.m., council will hold their standing committees meeting. Speaker registration for this meeting closes at 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. To register, fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage. You may also call the city clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Wednesday afternoon at 1:30, council will hold a post-agenda discussion on the residential parking permit program as it relates to Council Bill 2021-1867. And Wednesday afternoon at 4:30 p.m., the School Board Reapportionment Advisory Committee will hold their meeting in the City Stats Conference Room on the 6th floor. That's all of our announcements. We will now entertain a motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. We are adjourned.